And then I bashed the rest of the students that were in the class. And apparently, you know, we kind of liked it, so I was like, why not just bash a third of the class and get everybody in there? So that's what I did. Funny story, yesterday I went through the whole list of everyone, and I was like, I didn't do Charles. And then I was like, okay, so that's 42. I only have 41 people on there. And it took me like 5-10 minutes to figure out that I was the 42nd person. But anyway, it was a pleasure to meet all of you and get to know all of you. And there are definitely characteristics in all of you that I admire and that I've noticed that I could change some things about myself to make me a better person. You know, so I appreciate y'all for that. Now for the passion. No, I don't need a beat. Elise Lee. Me and her are cool, but she says that I'm pesky because thanks to Dr. Wrench messing up her name, from now on I just call her Leslie. I walk inside the pharmacy and say, "Hi, Maria. I heard that St. John's wort would treat my diarrhea. Get acetaminophen because I'm feeling symptoms of a fever. Plus I got a headache from drinking way too much tequila." Melanie Cooper's answers come out elegant and heaven-sent. She gives a new meaning to military intelligence. And I can be brash sometimes. I need to learn to speak more gingerly. Who can help me out with that? Dr. Jackson. Kimberly. Marshall Haney. I truly know he'll be good with his patients. I ask him one small question, he's giving 10-minute explanations. I wish I could know what he knows. I just need to learn a lesson, because by the time he answers what I asked, I already forgot the question. One guy had twins in school. If I did that, I'd sure be psycho. You know the guy. His name is Stu. Sounds like the gecko off of Geico. James Coleman. What can I say? I call him J. Cole. I said, "James, that's a rapper's name." He said, "Okay, so." We go to school downtown 8th Street. Not so safe. It's like the jungle. And I bet if Nora took off her scarf, her hair's long as Rapunzel's. Kelly and Caitlin, they're nice, smart, cutest little things. I wave when I walk by. They're like, "Chris, I got a ring." True story. No, not that one. This one's a true story. Jennifer McPhee. You didn't have to say she was a genius. I already knew it and I could feel it. She had a heavy bag one day. I told her I'd grab it for her. She looked at me like I was going to steal it. I swear. Okay, thank you. That dude Mikey, he can dress. I asked him, "Where'd you get those clothes?" He says, "I'm stylish and professional. My dress clothes are express clothes." And Dr. Sample, bet you wouldn't guess, Bill is in a band. So he's probably carrying a bass guitar when pills aren't in his hand. One more thing about Bill, to help him out, and would not be a surprise, if we could not start class at 9 a.m., we start at 9:05. For Dr. Heon, don't be confused. One day he'll be like, "See ya. Thanks for my education. I ain't paying no loans. I'm going back to South Korea." People rarely get my last name right, so I wonder how Michael feels. Because his last name clearly reads Ale, but they call him Michael Lil. Speaking of Mike, one day after PTX, he was like, "Chris, I'm going to choke you." It's because I'm good and I end patient interviews before I'm supposed to. Dr. Wahid and Weinberg. I couldn't think of a rhyme that would really make you blossom. But Shabnam, you're a wild fireball of emotion, and Andre, your new car is awesome. Andy Medved, she's amazing, but I swear that she's a fool. If I was half as smart as her, I'd skip a week of school. I'm gonna leave the Stones alone because I don't want to end up missing, and I want to get beat up, not by Mark. No way, I'm scared of Tristan. I'm not making fun of another classmate. Her name is Melissa Jock. She's nice and sweet and doesn't look too harmful, but yo, her husband's a cop. Kevin Dwayne, PTX, performance is perfect. It's like he does it without even learning it. And Alyssa Dwayne, even when she's pissed, I swear her smile is permanent. Erin O'Neill, brains and beauty. Some people used to think we were together. It's funny how she... I don't know what's funny about that. Brains and beauty. Some people used to we work together. It's funny how she's going to be pushing pills one day because I'd much rather watch her do the weather. Really? Today, it's going to be... If our teachers weren't so great... See, that's why I need them here. If our teachers weren't so great, I wouldn't go to class at all. I'd play basketball unless it was a class I had with Paul. But that guy's borderline cuckoo. Sometimes he's out of line. I don't know how he is so smart. I swear he's out of his mind. Andrew Bean aces another test, and on Facebook he thanks his father. I get jealous. Okay, so what? You're too big for your Miata. Now at school she's quiet, tall, and blonde. I'm talking Megan Nicer. She gets her mention because I want a job when she's CEO of Pfizer. A little gloomy here, huh? A lot of you know I rhyme. The only reason that I bother is because of my brother. But today is for Caitlin and Juan's father. Tell God I got the iPhone if they ever want to holler. We could be in the Coleman Blue Room or the Charter. Or the Mason Room. Like I said, I rhyme a lot. So I have a lot of verses. About as many as pink purses that Megan Richardson has purchased. It's about to get gangster, y'all. And I'm never feeling worthless. So I don't need Celexa. And Lauren Schnell's demonstrated she knows how to use contraception when she's having sex. But something's happened recently, and to me just isn't clear. Because either she doesn't know how to put a condom on, or she drinks a lot of beer. Dr. Herf, with that pronunciation and spelling, I mean, come on, it's spelled in German. So in order for someone to say it correctly, you're going to have to travel to Berlin. Paul and Lindsay recently got engaged. I hope they live forever happily. I am blessed to have Lindsay by his side, because if he didn't, he'd be after me. Dr. Lauren Rios. In English, that's Lauren Rivers. I get shivers to see how good her PTX delivered. I'm like, I studied with her. I knew that too. Yo, give me some credit. But then I get called out, fumbling words, and can't say it just like she said it. This was... You're going to get like I did Aaron's a little bit. Tiffany Little. Her boyfriend's name is Chris. So if Chris accidentally slips and falls into a ditch, my name's Chris. I'm just joking. Now in Russia, there are plenty of Evgenians. Iranians you see every day. So if we gave them names like Ashley and Jessica, they'd say them just fine, okay? Rodel Raimundo is a shoe collector like me. I like that dude a lot. But when we're out at the club, he always forgets that I drove. Dude, please stop buying me shots. Dr. Smythe and Dr. Snyder drive from Lake City and further. It's impressive and surprising. Because they only get about half a day to study because the other half is spent on driving. Christina Villanueva, my partner in crime, our initials have the same exact letters. She stays stressed out, but when she finds out how unprepared I am, I make her feel much better. When tests and quizzes are graded unfairly, we have a class of angry nerds that pout and cry, and some just fly around like angry birds. Yeah, some of us are crazy, but we're all professionals, looking good in our white coats, but we don't carry stethoscopes. We are just some pill docs, yeah, me and my drug buddies, solving problems left and right, referencing drug studies. We are geek intimidators and expert interrogators, the only group of gators that are pain alleviators. Ask us any question, the answer's back a minute later. Presentation's on time, and you know we finish papers. We're Florida Gators. If you hate them, we crush them and triturate them. Add solvent. We're Florida Gators. If you hate them, we crush them and triturate them. Add solvent, preservative, and we refrigerate them. You want your medication, you're going to have to wait a moment. First I got to mix it, then I put a label on it. All my classmates are top of the line. I swear their brain's enormous. My test grades are pretty much all above average, but when it comes to my performance, you probably think I'm a comedian. I'm sure you are amused, but I go up there and my mind goes blank and I just get confused. So when you see me stressed in PTX, you can laugh. Just don't tell people it's CVS. I need a job. I want a house, plus I want to go to Disney World. How else do you expect for me to find a pretty girl? But I've improved for the most part. I can say I'm not an amateur. I believe I built some stamina, no more stress-induced angina. I still don't know if I know a lot, but in PTX I'll do fine. But I can tell you one thing, hyperbilirubinemia, syllables equals 9. Dr. Mormon's energy is to the extreme. I'm like, what does this lady eat? It's like from the time she wakes up until the time she sleeps, she's on amphetamines, extended release. Dr. Matichka swears she rambles, and her opinion is very strong. But as long as she talks until PTX is over, go ahead, Carol, carry on. Dr. Rings calls another pharmacist to go up, and we don't know what she's reading. Because she's pretty much going to butcher your last name if your grandparents weren't from England. Being at this campus for 3 years, I know how to maneuver around the office so cleverly and sneak past the front straight to Jenny's office, avoiding Beverly. I swear her eyes burn holes in me. I see her and start to panic. And every time I call up the front office, I take a half a Xanax. Anyway, we also need to show appreciation where it is due accordingly to Dr. Matichka, Dr. Rins, of course, Dr. Mormon Lee. If it wasn't for them, I really don't think my experience would be fulfilled. But thanks to them, my whole life now will be dedicated to pills. To all my friends, it was an honor. If you need support, I'll be behind you. If I need a job one day and you don't help me out, I don't know where you live, but I will find you. So if you went to another pharmacy school, you're lame and such a shame, because at University of Florida, Jacksonville campus, we got the best pharmacists in the game.